Hi, my name is Tiffie Starchild for Black Nerd Problems, and we are ranking all of the benders from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. We have already ranked the waterbenders, the earthbenders, the airbenders, and we have finally gotten to the firebenders. And when I tell you that this list had me stressed, no, because we see a lot of firebenders throughout Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. So first we have to separate the ones that don't matter from the ones that do. And even then there's still like a whole lot of them left. But this list was hard. It was hard just ranking them. So we might not agree, and that's okay. We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree. We can still be friends. Keep in mind that we are only ranking from the television series and not from the graphic novels. We're also not including any actual avatars because that just, no. I'm gonna start with dishonorable mentions because I hate these characters and now y'all gotta hear about it. This Fire Nation soldier that unalived Katara's mom, I'm sure that he has a name, but I don't know it, and he's not worth my time and energy to look it up. We're not taking any prisoners today. Shut up, I hate you. Killed her mother, and then when Katara was older and then went to go blood bend him into submission and he offered up his own mother as sacrifice? He's trash, and that's just something that I need the world to be reminded of every once in a while because Katara is so much better than me. This man clearly just hates mothers, so I would do it for mothers everywhere. What's the extent of blood bending? I'd blood bend him bloating. I'd give him the highest of the high blood pressure. I just Googled the term for severe morning sickness. Hyperemesis. Oh, I know they have a okay. Hyperemesis gravidarum. That's what I'm gonna give him. I would give him the most severe, painful, grimiest abdominal cramps the world has ever seen every morning, noon, and night, just to give him a taste of what his mother had to endure to bring his crusty, raggedy ass into this world, and that's on my mother. Next is the warden from the Boiling Rock prison, and y'all, just look at all this dishonor. And I don't think that we actually see him do any firebending, but we can assume that he's pretty good at it because he has this position of power at this prison with this reputation for nobody escaping. We can assume that he is a firebender. But I just want to clown this man because he's not even able to get a little fireball off before Suki, the Okoye of the Kyoshi warriors, plays hopscotch on the prisoners' heads, scales the walls like some kind of lizard demon, and then takes the warden hostage on his own court. Girl. Like I said, dishonor. So these next two, I had to take them out of the regular ranking, and they are very powerful, but I just don't see where they fit in the lineup, so they also get some honorable mentions. And those are our two combustion benders, Sparky Boom Man from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Pali of the Red Lotus from Legend of Korra. Now they are technically very strong firebenders with this very rare ability to focus their chi out through a tattoo on their forehead, and they can just blow shit up. I look at it. I like that. That is very impressive. It's just it's just hard. It's hard to tell. I am acknowledging that they are very powerful. I know that combustion has to be somewhere up there, but just from what we see in the show, I'm not ranking them with other firebenders. I don't have enough data. I don't have enough data. So, number 9 at the very bottom of the list, where he belongs, is Admiral ZHAO from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He was a master firebender with considerable skill, but he had a big temper. He just let his emotions get the better of him all the time, and it made him a really sloppy fighter. He did manage to capture Aang, a whole child, and he killed the moon spirit, which just like, oh my god, wow. Before he ultimately got punished by her little boo thing, the ocean spirit, and we don't know what happens to him at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but in Legend of Korra, we see him wandering around the spirit world in the Sea of Lost Souls, pretty much where he belongs. That's what he deserved. You don't mess with the ancestors like that. Number 8 on the list is JEONG, who you will remember he refused to teach Aang firebending in book 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then Avatar Roku, the avatar before Aang, had to come back in the spirit form and tell him, do you know who I am, bitch? Teach me how to firebend right now. And so then JEONG did. So even though he's relatively low on this list, he's still very, very powerful. He's actually the one that trained Admiral ZHAO and pointed out, like, man, no, he has a whole temper. That's how you're going to beat him. And he was right. And he's the first person to successfully leave the Fire Nation when he found that their ideals just really did not align with his. Number 7 is Fire Lord SOZIN, who is Zuko's great-grandpappy and a certified bitch. I hate SOZIN so much. I might hate him more than any character in this entire series. Like, I can channel real life anger and rage into how much I hate this fictional character. Because for why? Why does the Fire Nation need to take over the whole world, SOZIN? And the way that he left his best friend to die, that's what he did. Just in case you don't remember, him and Avatar Roku, they grew up, they were very, very close, and then when Avatar Roku became the Avatar and he was like, oh, the world is bigger, yeah, we can do, I'm the bridge, I'm the peacekeeper, but SOZIN was becoming the Fire Lord. He was like, nah, Fire Nation forever, gang, let's take over everything. And Roku was like, that's not rocking with me, you my friend, you my homeboy from back in the day, so we can talk this out. And SOZIN tried to punk him, and Roku was like, fuck you, SOZIN, I'm the Avatar, don't make me come back here and do this again. I'm gonna let you live this time, don't make me come back here and humble you again. And so they grow separate, and they're old, and Roku is on his island. He's living his life old, did his business at the Avatar, his wife next to him, and then a volcano goes off, because all they knew, they didn't know that volcanoes were a thing, so he gets his people off the island, he gets his wife to safety, he's battling this volcano, trying to escape himself over on his own little home area. SOZIN sees it, so he hops on his whip, his dragon. He goes to see what's going on over on Roku's island, and it looks like he's going to help him. It looks like he's going to help him, but instead he sabotages him. He sabotages him so that Roku has to inhale the poisonous gas of the volcano. And then Roku dies. The Avatar dies because SOZIN was a bitch, and then that's when the 100-year war starts. And that's why the Fire Nation is looking for the Avatar, because they know they killed the last one. They know that because of the cycle, he's going to be born into the Air Nation, which is why SOZIN destroys the Air Nation, and that's how the story basically begins. But yeah, I hate SOZIN. Very powerful. Yeah, okay. Number 7. I don't want to talk about him no more. Number 6, in my opinion, is IROH, General IROH from Legend of Korra, who is the grandson of Fire Lord ZUKO. And for those that didn't know, General IROH is voiced by Dante Basco, who was also the voice of Prince Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we love a full circle moment, and we also love to see Dante Basco collect them checks. Do you, King? He doesn't get a whole lot of time in Legend of Korra, but we do see him do some pretty impressive firebending, and he just casually throws out lightning. He just lightning bends. So I think that he's pretty solid in that spot. We never see SOZIN lightning bend. All that power, but you couldn't bend lightning. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't stand a fake-ass friend. So moving up our list, number 5 is MAKO from Legend of Korra, and cause Asami's bad, right? And I would let Korra toss me around like a rag doll. MAKO, how do you lose them both? I would give up. I would be so sad. And when they went off to the spirit wilds together, I'd cry, I'd throw up, and I would set myself on fire. We know that fire can harm them, ZUKO. So I would just, if I was a waterbender, I'd drown myself. If I was an airbender, I'd hold my breath. I don't know. As an earthbender, I don't know. I would simply open up the ground and let it swallow me whole, and then close it. I would be distraught, is what I'm saying. MAKO is a very powerful firebender, and he can lightning bend, which he can even do while he's being blood bent by Amon. And do y'all remember when he killed Ming Hua when she thought she was being all cute, come at him with them water arms, and then he electrocuted her? Side note, this show was violent, wasn't it? Like, I feel like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, everything was really vague. Did Jet die? In Legend of Korra, is face explosions and suffocation, and Nickelodeon was like, grow up. Number 4 is everybody's baby boy, the best character arc I've ever seen in a series, and that is Prince Zuko. Can I show y'all my Bulbasaurs real quick? Okay, this one is IROH because he is wearing a festive hat, and I feel like IROH would wear a festive hat. But this one, this is Zuko because Also, for the record, this Bulbasaur is named Appa because he's the biggest one that I have, and all my Bulbasaurs are named after Avatar characters. ZUKO is, of course, a very strong firebender, and I love not only do we see his growth throughout Avatar The Last Airbender, but then we get to revisit his character in Legend of Korra. He is old, he is retired as the Fire Lord after an entire lifetime of making change and doing things that you can only really see in the graphic novels. His daughter Azumi is the current Fire Lord, which I think is amazing, and he's still doing things even as a very old person. I just love what they did for the character ZUKO. Next up is number 3, Fire Lord OZAI, who is Zuko's father, the Phoenix King, and I can't even front. That is a pretty cool name. Now, this is a person whose firebending is absolutely fueled by their rage, and it even gets crazier with the additional boost of firebending magic power from Sozin's comet at the end of Avatar The Last Airbender. We know that he can lightning bend, and he becomes so much of a menace in the finale of Avatar The Last Airbender that Aang has to put him in a permanent timeout and take his bending away altogether. Look at you, OZAI. All that rah, rah, rah. You flew too close to the sun, King. Now you gotta be regular. Number 2 is Uncle Iroh. And yes, I am putting him above OZAI, and I refuse to entertain anything otherwise. I am well aware that Zuko approached Iroh about fighting OZAI, and Iroh was like, maybe. I don't know if I can do it though. I get it. You are being humble. That is real cute. You tiptoeing, Iroh, and I need you to stomp. That is the Dragon of the West. Okay, my man's weaponized tea. Finessed entire cultures to protect the last remaining dragons because he knew it was bigger than some archaic tradition to prove his own strength, okay? Iroh was a man of quality, and I have no doubt that if it came down to it, he would dog walk his little brother up and down the Fire Nation. Number 1 on the firebending ranking list, y'all, it's AZULA. How could it not be? And I know I said at the beginning that if we didn't agree, we could still be friends, but I can't be friends with you if you don't agree with this one because I don't trust delusional people. Y'all lie too much. The first indicator are the blue flames, okay? Sis is different, and she wanted hers custom. Her fire literally burns hotter than anybody else's. I don't think there's a single person in the entire franchise that can take AZULA one-on-one when she's not letting her mental health kick her own ass, and we should not judge because personally I feel like some of us relate. But that's it. We did it. We have ranked every bender from Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, and I really appreciate y'all for joining me in this series. Please make sure that you are following Black Nerd Problems across all social media and me, Tiffie Starchild. My battery is dying, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.